Hey, welcome to Let's Talk About It.
Oh, you wanna talk? Okay then. Baby, just say that I'm too drunk.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Let's
Talk
Talk
About
About
It. Welcome guys.
Welcome.
If you are tuning in for the first time or you forgot who the hell we were, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm Raquel. This is my co-host Sophie.
Hey guys, what's good?
And we have some new guests behind us today.
My name is Nour. I'm in poli-sci
Hilarious.
here at Mac with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm second year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Toronto.
Tell us a fun fact.
Shout out Toronto.
I was my high school mascot.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't even know
Shout
that.
out Red Knights.
Shout out Red
Wait,
Knights.
what suit did you wear?
I was a Red Knight.
What is that? Like a knight?
Yeah,
like in
knight.
shining
Like-
armor
like-
type
yeah.
shit?
Like
think
in
so.
red armor, in red
Oh,
shining
I
armor.
see.
Yeah.
Red
I
shining
see.
armor.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And a big shield too.
Wow, good for you. Good for you.
He's a warrior.
And you?
Zaid Habayeb here. Second year Ken. I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm very old. Is anyone here 20?
No.
No, you're the
No.
only
Yeah,
one.
I'm the only one.
Old,
And
bro.
I'm
Old
from
fuck.
London.
Yeah.
And a fun fact is I do social media as well. So,
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Popular.
This is
No,
our
no.
campus
He's a celebrity, yeah.
Honestly.
If you tuned in last week, we were like, just wait for a campus celebrity. And we were talking about these guys, but really, this guy, like, I'm
No,
He's
no.
big on
Mr.
socials.
Mr. Popularity, hello?
It's like
I know.
Mac City
look at
You
us.
guys are putting me on the spot.
He's like, I'm getting shy.
No, he's fine. But today we have a really cool episode planned for you guys. We thought it'd be fun to do like a hot take episode, kind of like gear off from the political stuff just for today.
Yeah,
do
some
more fun.
lightheartedness. It's the last day of classes here at Mac, so why not? Let's gear away and let's have some fun. Why
Have
not?
some fun and hear some crazy opinions, hopefully, from everyone
Insane
in the room.
opinions. Yeah.
Cancel.
Yes. So we actually reached out to you guys over Instagram. Make sure to follow that. We'll put the link right there. And you guys gave us some really cool hot takes. We gathered some. We went around and asked people for hot takes as well. So we've gathered some of the best ones, we think.
I think that these
The
are pretty
boys know
great.
none of it.
Yeah, none of
They
them.
haven't heard anything.
We're
We actually told them to
trespassing.
prepare their own in case we needed more, but they
Yeah.
have not seen ours.
No.
Which is going to be really
So
exciting.
we're going to
right?
read them and everyone's
Yeah.
going to have kind of like their first.
You get like the raw reaction.
Yeah, raw reaction.
What's going on?
Sorry, I'm fixing his mic. But before we get into the hot takes, we thought we'd like properly introduce how we know these guys because you're probably like, okay, well,
Yes.
like, why are just two random guys
Yeah,
here?
true.
True facts. So we met Zaid and Nour both in first year.
Yeah.
Met Zaid first though.
I have to
technically.
tell them the story.
You got it. I was
I
gonna say
have
you have to tell them the
So-
elevator story.
When I first met these two guys, it was welcome week of first year, and some guy on my floor needed butter. So I was like looking around trying to get butter for him. So I went up to the group and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have butter?" And I swear to God, just so rude. They're like, "Oh, why is she asking for butter?" Da, da, da. Very disrespectful, honestly.
Okay,
I just had to
wait.
And
bring
it's
that
coming
up.
from Zaid.
It was coming from both of you.
No, you're
Oh.
framing us so bad because you were running around the hallways on the first day of not even
needed
class.
butter.
It was the first day.
Wasn't the
And
actual
you were
first
yelling.
day?
Yes,
Yeah.
and you were yelling.
That's
Okay,
fine.
well, sorry,
And then-
I'm,
That's
I'm
fine.
like that.
Include the
facts.
part of the elevator as
Yes,
well.
she was
Well,
gonna get
yeah.
to
So
that.
then all of a sudden, I walk into my first year res building. Shout out Brandon
Brandon
Hall.
Hall.
And I go into the elevator, and they're all standing there with a group of guys. And like, they're being all whatever. So I'm like, oh, these kids again. And apparently, I offended them by
'cause
calling
they're
them
like,
kids.
"Who are these kids?" And
Why are
then
they
kicked
calling
her
us
out-
kids?
kicked
And
her
they
out of the
wouldn't let me
elevator.
in. Yeah. So
Insane.
Wait, what? We kicked you out?
yeah, he wouldn't let me in the
It was
elevator.
me. I'm like,
I'm not even gonna lie,
It
it
was
was me.
ju- it was just
Come
me,
talk closer
but-
to your mic.
it was just me, but like honestly, you deserved it.
I don't think I did. I don't think
Honestly,
I
you
did.
deserved it. It's crazy. No, and then I met Zaid like the last day of Welcome Week on the Friday when we were trying to go to a frat. Oh, dead.
Horrible.
Ooh, horrific. And then I was like, okay, this kid's like kind of cool, kind of interesting. And then we saw him around a few times.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of just, our friendship just kind of started.
But I don't remember how we actually started to hang out though.
Yeah,
was
I don't
it just
either.
common room or
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Which is really cool. And then
Yeah.
we always kind of knew of Nour. We actually met him in the basement of Brandon Hall for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon Hall brought so many people together.
So many people together. And then, like Nour said, he's in our program. So then we started hanging out a lot more this year.
Yeah, we've kind of like forced him to hang out with us. And it
Yep,
worked.
and it worked.
Actually, I came up to y'all the first time.
Did he?
Yeah,
I
in
did.
Because
class.
you
I
kept
was
seeing
like,
us in class.
can I slide in?
Yeah, facts.
Whoa.
Slide in is kind of
Whoa.
crazy.
No. Like,
Pause. Kidding. We're totally busting his balls. Hilarious. Hilarious. So yeah, these are just some of our guy friends. They're chill. They're kind of annoying, bro, but they're chill.
They're chill. Hopefully they're chill today with the hot takes.
Do you guys want
facts.
to talk about how we met?
Oh,
yeah.
be our
Please,
guest.
yeah,
Please,
go ahead.
tell us.
Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so we know each other for like quite a long time. We tell everyone we're cousins.
They
Pretty
basically
sure they
are.
believed we were cousins first.
Why would we believe
Yeah,
otherwise? You
thank
told
you.
us that.
Yeah.
Fair.
So yeah, my mom and his mom were friends in high school.
wow.
Yeah, and his what?
You don't know.
Yeah, my dad also knew like of you, like he's been to your mom's.
Yeah. Like my
Oh.
mom's
Like he was friends with your
uncles,
yeah,
like
with your
whatever.
uncle.
Yeah.
So we're day ones.
Yeah, exactly.
We're day
That's
ones.
crazy.
And then we met here because our parents moved here around the same time. It was, I think,
yes.
a coincidence as well. And
Yeah.
then
But you're from Syria, and
Yeah.
you were born in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
right? So where did your moms go to school together?
in Syria.
In Syria.
Because my mom lived there for like 2 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
very
actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's very cool. Well, we knew that, but we didn't know the Syria part.
The Syria
Mm-hmm.
part.
Yeah, that is very cool. And they love to speak Arabic all the time. Maybe they'll speak Arabic on this episode.
Just for
Maybe.
you, Sophie. Just for you.
Just for me. I love it.
Well, we're both ESLs, so.
Oh yeah, they both are ESL.
We are both
So give them
ESL.
patience
Yeah,
today.
please, in case, guys, give them a little bit of mercy. But they speak English quite well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talk about this if they're
Thank
fucking
you.
I
illiterate.
hope so.
I hope so.
I swear I can read and write.
I promise. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
So,
Okay.
do we want to move on to the
I
hot
think
takes
so.
now?
Is everyone ready to move on to our first hot
Are
take?
we warmed up?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, everyone's ready.
Hit us
Okay,
with the first one.
beautiful.
Okay. Our first hot take sent in by a viewer was being a critical thinker is more difficult than being mathematically inclined.
I honestly agree.
Wow.
Especially as an Arab, because I feel like we're always, or most of us are always very good at like math and
Yeah.
science and stuff because of our parents. And like
Yeah.
they're very strict when it comes to like academics and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always just like easy. But then to be an actual like critical thinking, like no, that's something you can't really practice. It just comes like over time. So
I was gonna say it's like a skill you're almost born with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some people they're just
know.
like
They can't.
dense. You just can't get through to them.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can learn math.
True.
You can't learn how to,
Jeez.
Yeah, sometimes it's really difficult to explain like common sense to people.
no,
what I'm
exactly.
saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
It
but
doesn't
they
come
can they
naturally to
can
some
learn
people.
like what is it, long division or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I never learned long division.
No, she can't do it.
You suck
poli
kids,
sci
am I
student.
right?
Yeah, facts. No, the way that I view it, like I think because math and things like in like the scientific world are so objective, it's a fact. Like there's no
exactly.
there's no disproving it, so it's just yes or no.
Yeah.
But I think with things like being a critical thinker or having to think socially, it's a lot more gray. There is no definitive answer. Like we
Yeah.
talk about it, everything in political science, everything in sociology is a theory.
Yeah.
It's all theoretical, none of it is factual. So having to understand that and being able to break it down is a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's another take that I think it was a roommate who had sent it in. I didn't include it on the list, but she was saying that, you know, poli-sci classes actually have more like coursework and workload than like engineering classes. And I
times,
was like,
yeah.
I feel like that may be too controversial to put in here.
I agree.
But at the same
I
time,
fully
like
agree.
it's a lot of papers, it's
Yeah.
a lot of writing, and because there's no strict grading like
Yeah.
scheme. Like
It's very
if your TA
subjective.
doesn't
It
like your
is.
rating,
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you're gonna graduate.
No,
So,
exactly.
I don't know.
Sorry, but like no, like Raquel said, like we will in for example, our 2006 or even like think of something like like your 2 PP3
Yeah.
class you have, like you will have a midterm, a final, and a huge research paper on top of all of that. Plus in your tutorials, you'll have many like assignments that you have to do with your tutorial groups. Like
Yeah.
in engineering, even though yes, they have like labs and they have exams that are very, very difficult, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just think the amount of shit that we have to do accumulates to the level of engineering.
Well, we mentioned it in last week's episode too. Sophie and I spent 4 months on a research paper.
Yeah.
like
On
it was
top of
great.
the midterm and on top of the
midterms.
final.
Like it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
and on top of 8 assignments we had to do.
Yeah.
Shout out Professor Alway.
Facts.
We
love
love
you.
the class, but like it was a lot of work.
Yes.
I really think. I don't know.
I don't
also
know.
like the midterms and the finals are both like they both have essays in them.
Since they written
which are
elements.
also
Yeah.
subjective.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to some of my commerce buddies and we were talking about how it's
Commerce.
Commerce.
how it's a lot easier to like pass in soc sci, but it's so much harder to excel. Whereas in commerce, it's harder to pass if you don't do any work, but at the same time,
Facts.
it's easier to like get things right.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just more objective.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially like it's very subjective. So for you to actually, well, depending on your TA, but for you to know exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You have to read their brains, basically.
No, exactly.
It's crazy. You don't know until after the first assignment. So you better hope you have 2.
Yeah, facts.
You better hope.
If you only got one, you're fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a good
Yeah, I'm glad that we all
response from
agreed.
everyone. Let's move on. This is kind of political as well, but
Which one you doing, the top one or-
Top one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Politics don't matter in relationships.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good, yeah. Yeah, facts.
I don't know why someone
No,
would
it's
say
so
that.
bad.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
Who wants
so
to? Who
bad.
wants to answer first?
You go first.
Honestly, especially when 2 people came from like different parts of the world, it can get, and especially like when you have a lot of pride and the person you're speaking to has a lot of pride, it's honestly just arguments and arguments because you're not, and especially if you're not open-minded as well,
Yeah.
and you're not willing to like listen to the other person and you just think you're right the whole time,
Yeah.
it'll go from like a discussion to like a debate almost, and
Yeah.
you're both trying to prove that you're right instead of like actually trying to understand the other person's like perspective and like point of view.
Yeah.
That's very nuanced. I like
Very good answer.
Are we talking about relationships isn't like
dating, marriage,
Dating, yeah.
things like that.
because like the end goal of that is having kids, right?
Yeah.
And when you come from different backgrounds, you're gonna have to have the discussion at the end of like, what are the kids gonna believe, or like
Yeah.
what are we gonna tell the kids?
Yeah.
And that's like, it's just fundamentally gonna destroy.
Facts.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when it
it's
comes to
true.
politics, like religion, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and culture is just really hard to find a middle ground because,
Mm-hmm.
like Zaid said, like it's gonna be each one's gonna try to prove their side and mine's better.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a common theme throughout all of our podcast episodes is this idea that, politics is in everything. So really
is.
the idea that you can separate something so big as politics, like from a relationship is
Yeah.
really confusing to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you guys bring up a good point. Like there will be people who say this usually who are like, oh, like politics doesn't matter. I don't get into politics. It's like, okay, but you do
You
though,
do, yeah.
because politics is in every aspect of our lives. Those little opinions, even what you think about gas prices, what you think about, this, like every little thing is going to make their way into the relationship at some capacity because
great
you
point.
have to pay for things, you have to raise children, like you're saying, you have to decide what school you want them to go to, things like that. So I don't know how you could separate something so big as politics from something so big as a relationship and your lifelong partner.
No, I completely agree. And because I think people don't realize that politics comes down to your fundamental moral and core values.
Yeah.
That's just because those things are politicized now. Like even if you didn't want to get into politics, but you still have a stance on things like abortion, on marriage and who deserves rights and things like that. Like you will, whether or not you want to get into politics, you have a stance on everything.
Yeah.
So those stances to you might be incredibly important. So you would want the same things out of your partner, would you not?
Yeah.
So you can be from different political backgrounds. I mean, I'm sure it happens, whatever. But I think the idea that it doesn't matter or that it won't affect you is not true.
No, I 1000% agree. Morals play such a big role in relationships and being able to even sometimes when people are like, oh, politics doesn't matter. It's like, okay, well, what about like you said, rights? Like, what if you're just racist? Like, that's politics. Like, if you're like, hey, I don't think black people deserve rights, but like politics doesn't matter. Let's get into a relationship. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of important, and it is
Yeah.
politics. Like people's beliefs and how they view different racial groups and different categories. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
No problem. Those all are really important. I don't know how
I agree.
you'd be able to get into a relationship. It's like
You won't. That's
it's
the
like
thing.
this
People are
one
delusional.
little white girl walks up. She's like, "Oh, my boyfriend says the N-word, but it's fine. Like, we don't get into politics."
Facts. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Because it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Right?
Sick. Okay. Any final thoughts on that hot take?
Nope, you capped it off
Honestly.
real well.
Perfect.
Yeah, the little girl walking up.
Jeffrey says the N-word, but it's fine. I don't know why I went with Jeffrey. That's not really a white name.
Jeffrey
Whatever.
Dahmer. Yes, it is.
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
Whatever, y'all.
All right. Why don't you read the
The third one? Okay. Hookup culture is ruining our idea of intimacy and relationships.
Oh,
I agree.
yeah, you got
We're
some big
all-
thoughts on
Yeah.
that.
Honestly, I do agree.
Thought we'd be disagreeing a lot
I'm
more on some of
very
these.
against it.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about this until tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah, facts. Give us a brief synopsis of like why.
Because I feel like it should be something that's shared between like two people that are very into each other and love each other and all that, and it should be something that's like not taken lightly.
Facts.
You know, like I don't know. Honestly, I can talk about it until tomorrow.
Okay, what about you, Nour?
Here, I'll play devil's advocate just because we've been agreeing on each other.
Okay.
What about like uni life? It's not that serious, or it doesn't have to be too serious because like people are just at uni, like they're having fun, they're doing whatever. I do understand like as you grow older, it does. No, I can't, man. It's too far. It's too far out, like from my morals. Nah,
He's like, no, I don't believe any of this.
I can't lie.
I don't believe in any of this.
Yeah, it is like something really intimate. You shouldn't be like just
facts.
throwing it everywhere.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go first. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But I think the thing is that I think if you would ask me like maybe a year ago, I would have disagreed. To a certain extent, yeah. Like I would have played more of a devil's advocate because I think the issue is that as a society, when I say society, I mean like our age group. I think there's a rush to want to become older and a rush to want to like enter adulthood a lot sooner than we should be or have to be. And I think with things like social media and dating apps and these toxic mindsets that you'll find amongst many people, especially boys, it glorifies hookup culture. It does. Like, it's like, well, how many bodies do you have? And then making a whole thing out of guys having more bodies and girls having more bodies. And you have these conversations about, it's like
red pill, like blue pill content. Like
yeah,
into
exactly.
There too.
And at the end of the day, all of it's bullshit. Like at the end of the day, listen, I think like truly and honestly, I'm a person who says, you have autonomy to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. You need to make those decisions for yourself. However, I think hookup culture is very, very toxic, and I think it leads to especially women not having enough respect for themselves. But it's not like a woman versus man thing. I just think throwing that away because you want to prove something to somebody else or you want to prove that you can be good in bed. It's just, for me, I'm just like, you're not respecting yourself. What you should actually be doing is having higher standards for people. I think everybody should have higher standards in general. Some of y'all are shagging with people who are weird. And no, but it's true though.
Some of y'all be doing that with 35, 40 people.
Yes.
It's like a lot.
And it's a lot. And it's disgusting because the thing is like, and I think the other thing is that hookup culture is very misogynistic. Like you will have, like this idea that like men can go out and pimp themselves out and whatever, it's fine. They're just a pimp. But as soon as a woman does, she's a and it's like that's fucked up.
I want to add something.
Yeah,
to
go
that,
ahead.
I fully also disagree with the whole double standard that guys can do it and whatever. And, it's like kind of cool if you're a guy and you just get with like 4 girls at a time and all that. But then as soon as a girl even just talks to a guy or hugs a guy, she's a full on like, ho.
She's like, ho. Scared to say ho.
I'm not sure if I can say that on
We'll bleep it if we have to.
I
feel like also with that, the problem with that is that it puts a pressure with girls starting to act like how men are acting.
Yeah.
When I think it should be the opposite. Guys should act like women and maybe not hoe or act.
Actually. Yeah,
I feel like that's how it should be, but the problem is with our generation, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Girls are starting to act like men when men are
because men won't change. So
Exactly.
the thing is that they feel like to kind of get on that level is that they have to meet that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
The toxicity.
I get it, but it's like, why don't you both just
come
Here, I'll dial it back down. Just one last note. It's also like it gives people the wrong idea about like intimacy.
Yes.
Like when you're being intimate with someone, you're putting yourself in such a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And anything could happen in that moment. And when it's with someone that you don't like love and you haven't been with in a while, it's just like someone you met at a party, you're both drunk, you're doing whatever. God knows what happens. And like it could scar you for life. It could just leave you with like a bad image of what
intimacy is like.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys all know, like, I've been in a relationship, so I've never participated in this, like, culture. Like, so when people are like, oh, it's a part of university type thing, I'm like,
Type shit.
I'm like, I don't really see that because I just don't know anything about it. Like hearing about it is such like a wonder to me. I'm just like, huh. I'm like, you just go up to someone and you kiss them. I'm like, I don't really understand what that means, but I don't know. So I'm like, it's hard for me to have formative opinion. I obviously am like, y'all are weird, but it's because I've never been a part of it, right? So I don't know.
Don't worry, we're gonna move on from that segment.
Yes. Okay.
Hilarious.
This one I feel like was maybe a little bit directed towards me, but the next one was not everything is a conspiracy theory.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like
I
some
think
things
it
are
is.
facts. You mean or
Well, they're saying that like, you know when like everyone on TikTok's like, oh, you know, like all the plane crashes are happening so that they don't want people to leave. And like
and
every
Raquel's
like
eyes just light up.
yeah, because what?
some things aren't that deep?
Well, the thing is that
No.
the thing with like conspiracy theorists and especially modern conspiracy
Are
theorists,
you saying that you're a conspiracy theorist?
of course,
Okay.
but not one of the modern ones. I'm like a traditional conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I
but
see.
like these modern ones, they take like every little thing and like make a thing about it. Now, this is my hot take because I actually agree. Yes, everything could be a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
In my head, and I said this in the first episode, conspiracy theories is just asking like questions, like just not taking things at face value. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like, look, I'm writing a book, you know, type shit. Yo, don't leak that.
Oh,
Don't leak
shit,
that.
no?
It's a secret.
Okay,
but
sorry.
What I'm saying, like, you know what? Like all these things that are like happening around us all the time, and I think it's part of being a critical thinker is questioning everything that happens. And that doesn't mean you have to go online and be like, this is what's happening. But I mean, low-key everything is a conspiracy theory in my head because I'm like, okay, I heard this. Let me question it. Let me look at it from 6 different perspectives, and then let me form my own opinion on it. I feel like in my head, that's all being a conspiracy theorist is.
If we go to
I feel
Raquel's
like-
house in the future, we're just gonna see her in the basement with like red threads
Just connecting
on a
shit to each other.
board.
I feel like I do agree with her to a certain degree. Like,
Yeah.
obviously not everything is,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like most things are, to be honest. Like, and I, you know how like there are certain things I think.
Yeah.
And
He's trying not to get
and
canceled.
I can't
Trying to
say
stay
it because I will get canceled, but I'm
That's
really
how I be.
holding myself.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
Can you bleep that out?
I can. I'm gonna put both y'all asses out. Hilarious. Okay, well, since you just dropped that, I'm gonna go next, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know, cause like I think like conspiracy theories in general can be just very harmless. Like I think a lot of them are. So like. I'm not really understanding like what you mean by like it's just asking questions because to me that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just you asking
Being
questions.
philosophical.
Just inquiring. Like I think you should always ask questions about everything. But
Yeah.
no, but you should though, so you can have a fully formed opinion.
Yeah.
Like for me, when I think of conspiracy theories, I think of like more of the more like extreme things.
Yeah.
Like or like the lighthearted ones. Like you know, like have you heard like the rice pudding place in New York is like it's a crime front. Whatever.
Probably.
Yeah, whatever. So
I don't
like
know.
small things like that or
Yeah.
like whatever, like PETA's a scam like for like the meat industry or whatever.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like the little things like that, I'm like, okay, those are just harmless and those are hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But then like sometimes I think about like the bigger things like you know, the aliens and the weather machine. And it's
weather
The
machine.
weather machine.
I feel like Raquel believes in aliens. Would you
What?
say?
Okay.
Would you say?
No, not aliens. Okay. Brief.
'Kay,
Very
brief.
brief. I feel like more like traditional conspiracy theories, kind of when they started up and like these people who are thinking different things, like even the airport. You know about that airport that everyone thinks is like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot Denver maybe. I don't know.
Yes, yes.
But things like that where people are just asking questions.
Yeah.
Those were like traditional, like original conspiracy theories, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Facts. I said, let me look into that. Doesn't mean I believe in all of them, but it means I'm like
But I'm just
interested
gonna
in them.
inquire, yeah.
But like those big like alien ones in my head are just there to like make us all sound crazy. You know what I mean? I know I
absolutely.
sound crazy right now. Please bear with me, but you know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. Like, because I think, like, you know, there are some conspiracy theories, especially about the government, where I'm like, you know what, like, yes.
Well, a lot of them
are
true.
Yes, exactly. No,
Yeah.
100%. And so, like, I do agree that I think there is propaganda that is pushed out there, but I think some people are, like, seeing that propaganda, missing it, and then going the entire opposite direction they should be going, and that's where you get, like, you know, the tin hat people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you get the tin hat
true.
people. Like, you know, it's true though.
Okay, maybe there should be 2 subcategories
I
of
think so.
conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the chill one.
You're on the mild
side.
one, yeah.
The
She's on level 3.
I'm on level 3. The rest of you guys are on
haven't
level
even
2.
I'm on level 5.
You're not on level 5.
So on level 5.
This is gonna be a whole episode.
like ridiculous.
Anyways,
have
I'm
anything else?
going crazy. We got to move on.
I was just gonna talk about the.
Okay.
Never mind.
No, we
Keep
can't
going,
talk
keep
about
So,
that.
going.
LOL.
What? Talk about what? 9/11.
The John
Hilarious.
Pork conspiracy.
So much of this,
theory.
John Pork. Bro, brain rot.
so much
bro.
of this episode's gonna be cut out. It's hilarious. Okay, let's go to the next one. Women more often settle in relationships than men.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
100%.
Really? Okay.
Really?
Thought you were gonna say no.
I think it's less of a looks are less of a deal breaker for women than men.
I agree.
Facts.
I feel like girls care more about,
Substance
yeah.
than like
Personality.
Yeah,
and also it's like the whole like, oh, they look for a guy who's gonna provide and protect and that whole thing.
yeah.
But then guys, I feel like
Like, you
they
still
go
don't see,
more
like-
for looks,
Yeah,
so they don't
physicality.
usually go for someone who's like on
Yeah.
a lower league than them.
Wow. Damn.
But you are seeing like I don't know, like the girls do date like within their own like league, quote
Yeah.
unquote. But like
I think sometimes girls date out of their league, like where like the guy is hotter than them. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more often women are settling. Like
I also think women don't
Okay.
believe they are to the same level of like attractiveness that they actually are.
I agree.
I
with
oh,
think
do
that.
you
they-
think they're uglier than they
I
are?
think so.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think so.
that's
I
a
don't
great
think
point.
women. Like I feel like women underestimate how good looking they are,
Damn.
and then I feel like guys,
Guys
overestimate.
overestimate.
Not even only looks, but also guys. I feel like overestimate how much they do. I feel like guys think they have more going on than they actually do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Because
god.
I've seen.
I
like,
love this
I've
take. I
heard-
love this.
I've heard bums. Like I've heard bums going like, "Oh, I'm a hard worker. I do this. I do that."
Like,
It's
no,
like,
you
bro,
don't.
like, no, you don't. You don't.
You're
do
not
it.
Ashton
Like,
Hall.
you're
bro.
not-
Like it's like you're not that guy, bro.
You're not that. Like this is
Like
great.
those guys who like watch Andrew Tate and whatever.
Yeah.
Facts.
Well, that's how like incel culture is like kind of boring though. That's really
Facts.
sick. 'Cause they
Take
like,
microphones away from
overestimate.
men. Oh my god, take them away.
This is what I'm saying, bro. Why do we bring them on the pod? This is going
Facts.
against.
Take them away from men.
Wow.
No, but this is great because I really thought, like, to a certain degree, you guys would disagree. Well, only just because, like, I do believe that women settle more often than men, but just because, like everything you said, like, I think we go more for personalities and things like that. But also, like, I think women find it attractive dating ugly men.
Oh my
What?
god.
No, it's
Attractive?
true. No, it's true. No, and to a certain degree, there's some women who like dating uglier men. No, I'm not kidding. Everyone's like, why is everyone like, oh, put
I
their
always,
head in
no,
their
I
hands?
always thought it was more of like
Hot take, bro.
Hot
maybe-
take.
No, I always thought like that's a hot take.
That is not a thing. No,
Like,
but it's true.
I always thought it's more of like maybe I don't know if it's true or not,
Yes.
but like maybe it's like more of a like insecurity thing. Because again,
It
girls
could
do
be.
underestimate how good looking they
Yeah.
are. So then they'll date a guy who's like
Yeah.
uglier than them.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. Like girls don't do it on
Oh,
purpose because
got
they think
it.
they're on the same league.
Oh,
Yeah, I've had some
that
like,
kind of thing.
conversations
So sad.
with girls where they're like, "Oh yeah, like I think I'm up to this level." I'm like, "What?
What?
And,
What are you
and she's
talking
higher
about?
than it.
Yeah, it's almost
Damn.
insulting. It's like you think I'm pulling that level."
No, exactly. I agree.
Hilarious.
Okay, wait, no, let me clarify what I just said.
Okay.
But the only reason why I said that's because like if you think about like things like on TikTok, like where women have been, like it's like a trend where they're like, you know, like where like I need me a man who's like tall and a little bit ugly.
I don't agree with that.
I don't know.
Do you not agree with the fact that it's a trend, or you don't agree with when women do that?
No, I don't agree that girls find hot guys attractive.
You mean
I mean,
ugly
no,
guys attractive?
ugly guys attractive. Yeah.
I think
That
girls
But
makes
everyone
sense.
has different types. This is
I
what
was
I'm
gonna
saying.
say,
Like, this
yeah.
whole conversation, like
No,
I'm
but,
really
but
racking my brain
because it's so
thinking what.
subjective. How do you looking at a guy and think
It
they're
is
ugly,
something else.
and them being ugly is attractive? You know
Well,
what I
because
mean?
like facts, yeah, I
Because
saw that.
everyone has different
types. Like you guys have seen some of the guys I talk to. Rats. Like rats. Rats. So like, but I found them slightly attractive, even though I knew they were ugly. So no, it's true.
And
So-
they were.
And they were. So
What's
it
the one
proves the
guy's name?
thesis.
From last year? Like
Bleep it.
when I almost got in a fight with him.
Yeah.
Why are you saying shut up? Say it to her face then. Like why is he when she's walking away? Then don't say it. Then don't say it. Then say it to me then.
Next, maybe want to do that. I might put the clip in. Hilarious.
Hilarious. Dude, I don't know. Like, I have no opinion on this conversation because really, like, this whole idea of like like liking people and being in relationships. Like I have no take on because I've been with the same person
Yeah.
who I
been
love
married
so
for
much.
4
Like
years.
She's been
for
married
4 years. So in my head, like when I look at this from an outside perspective, outside of my own loving relationship, I'm just kind of like,
course.
I don't know. I feel like everyone has different standards. Everyone has different tastes. Like we see it. Like you and like Sam or like you and like
Yeah.
someone else we're friends with. We'll look at the same guy and one of you will be like, oh, he's super hot, and the other one's like, oh my god. So it's like I don't think that you
Yeah.
can put one finalized answer on this because I'm like everyone just likes different things.
I also think subjectivity in women's world varies so much more than guys. Like guys' opinions on attractiveness are a lot more objective.
Well, it's probably through
Girls.
media.
I feel like-
That's a thing though.
I feel
Like
it's
media
similar,
pushes
and
it
I
on you
agree with
guys.
that, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the whole media thing because then it's so.
You guys are told who to find attractive and who
exactly.
not to. Like if you guys were like, oh, I don't like Margot Robbie, everyone would like.
Would look
I
at
don't
you
know.
as
The
if-
guys still find her attractive. I do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
she's
bad.
beautiful.
She's very
yeah,
pretty.
she's
But it's like
beautiful.
I think with women, like everyone just likes what they like. Type.
Okay, wait. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Hilarious. I don't know if this is gonna make sense. Do you think back to end of your except for you?
Amazing.
Think back to end of your past talking stages. Do you think that you were punching or the other person was punching? Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Share.
what's your
About
answer?
punching.
Punching means that
yeah.
you're punching above your weight class.
Yeah.
Like you're.
You can't
pulling
answer. I know you
more
can't.
than-
No,
answer
I'm not.
this,
I
yeah.
don't have anything to answer
Answer
about.
for
So
yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah.
Hilarious. Answer it.
Hilarious answer.
Back then, I was punching.
With the ex.
Yeah.
Okay. Hilarious. Oh, you were punching.
Back then, yeah.
Oh, so you think she was hotter than
No,
you?
but
Not anymore.
I don't think so.
Not
But I
anymore.
feel like he had such a glow up because I've known him for so long.
that's
Like when I
sweet.
first
So
knew him, he was
nice.
maybe a
Yeah,
little
I was kind of
Little-
kind of chopped.
yeah.
Aw,
was
poor
kinda
Nour.
But
no, there's
now
that-
like
Nour's so
if you bring
handsome.
if you bring both now, I feel like no,
He's no longer.
well not
chopped.
only looks wise, but even like
Personality
personality
wise.
because there's more to it than just looks, right?
Yeah.
She's not gonna be watching.
No, she
If
won't.
she is, like, fuck, take the L, I guess.
Facts.
Yeah,
And I
fuck
hate
yeah.
her friend too.
Yeah, true.
Her
Okay,
friend.
what about you, Soph? Well, we can't answer.
Oh, so, but we know that answer. They've been punching every single goddamn fucking time. No, it's true. Fuck.
Yo, name them all. We're gonna bleep them all.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, you don't know about that
You
one?
know about that one?
What? Yeah,
Dropping
bro.
lower today.
Okay,
Hilarious.
let's move on. This one's also kind of similar. Well, no, it's relationship still kind of like question. Someone sent in and said, saying I'm sorry before like rejecting someone is the right thing to do.
No.
Wow.
No. It's
Wow.
so bad. It's so
Right?
bad.
Okay.
Okay, what do you
Elaborate,
think?
yeah. Elaborate,
Like
guys.
my friends have been in that situation before.
Of course,
it's
never
so not like
So, of course,
that. No,
never him.
not like that. But like,
I wouldn't reject
I've-
you either.
Oh my god.
like now I'm blushing.
Now he's blushing. Look at him
I
get
don't even
red.
want to talk anymore.
Keep
no,
going,
no,
please.
You're true.
no,
You're
no. But
true
here's the
king.
thing. I think it's like just say how it is. You know what I mean? Just be
Yeah.
like, yo, listen. I don't want to go out with you. You know what I mean? And just be
Yeah, facts.
very honest. Because again, I feel like, and this is very different. But do you guys agree with the whole? You know, when the girl's in a relationship, a guy comes up to her and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend."
That's what the question is, Zaid.
Oh,
What?
no, that wasn't.
I thought it was in
the
general.
question.
Like if you
It's
get
just
rejected
rejecting in
and
general.
someone says I'm sorry.
I thought that's what she was asking. Like if you're in a relationship, then saying I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah, being like, if a girl comes up to you, she's like, "Oh, can I?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a girlfriend."
That would kind of irk me a
No,
little
that's
bit.
that's so bad. Like if my
Okay,
girlfriend
so,
did that,
same
I'm
thing.
not gonna lie. If my
Okay.
girlfriend did that, it's like what are you sorry for?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts.
Like you're trying to break up. Like go talk to the other guy.
my
Because I'd never. Honestly, I'd never do that. Like I've been in that situation before, and I just
Yeah.
kind of like walk away, or I say, I'll just be like, even if I'm trying to be nice, I'll be
Yeah.
like, no, thank you, I'll walk away. Like
Yeah.
not even make eye contact, whatever.
Yeah.
Because why am I even talking?
Like
to
Well,
them?
that's
thank you is
still
a lot
polite.
better than
Or the whole,
sorry.
yeah.
Like,
And the whole thing of like, even no, I have a boy. Even if they don't say sorry, but no, I have a boyfriend, but we can just be friends though. Or
Oh, that's
you can,
that's
insane.
or,
weird. Yeah,
or
it's
you can
crazy.
follow me on Instagram, and it's like, okay,
Oh.
that's just super weird.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like,
it's very weird.
giving out the snap or the IG.
Yeah.
That's game over.
No, exactly.
Or even saying like, "Oh, unfortunately, I have a." Like, I
No,
have a,
exactly.
It's like, What do you mean, unfortunately?
Unforged. Why you unhappy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
why would have do you break up then?
I think the key issue with like questions like this is the like ability to just be like polite. Like I think you can be polite without saying I'm sorry before
Sorry,
doing
yeah.
it because it like I do understand what your guys' point is.
Yeah.
But it's also I think it's the difference of being like, ew, gross, get away from me. It's like, whoa, like do you not have any like
That's
like
crazy.
I wouldn't want
Be
my
nice.
boyfriend to do that to some girl unless I hated her personally.
Facts.
If some girl like built up the courage, went up to him. Okay, hold on. Now I'm getting a little okay, I don't know.
Getting upset.
But now I'm getting upset. I'm thinking about it. But went up to him and was like, you know, like I'm like, can I? It's very polite. It's can I get your stuff? And he goes, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, thank you, or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
polite. I'd rather him be polite to a person who bucked up the courage to come up to you than to
Facts.
cuss you out and push you away.
Facts.
Because I wouldn't want to cuss someone
No,
out.
definitely don't cuss them out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but sometimes
but you
they
also
take it
don't
like
have
that.
to say sorry.
No, I agree.
No.
I'm on your side.
You just, all
I
you
just
have
think
to
you
say,
should be polite.
Yeah, all you have to say is like, you know what, like I'm flattered, but I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even that's a bit too far.
Well, you could be.
I don't know. Now I'm
Yeah,
upset.
you can, you can take a compliment.
Yeah, well, if they're coming up and complimenting them, it's
Of
like,
course.
you know that they're
Yeah, like,
attractive.
thank you,
obviously.
but-
thank you, but I have a girlfriend. Like I can't. Like
Yeah.
no.
I'm
You
not
can
gonna
do it
lie.
politely.
I want to agree with it, and
Yeah.
I do, but also like
Thinking about
like
it. is,
if you're
hard
going
to,
up to my girl, like now I just gotta hate you, you know?
Yo,
Oh no, it's very valid.
No, exactly, because
True.
it's so easy from
Can't look at him the
like
same.
a third point of view, just being like,
Yeah.
like they're being polite, and then she just said thank you, moving on. But it's like, why are you even answering him? Just walk away.
Yeah, true.
That type of thing.
Just walk away.
But
Wait. Can we go back to what Zaid was really talking about like the rejection thing, like about like what were you talking about? Something about like a proper way to reject somebody.
Oh,
yeah, like if you're gonna reject someone, I feel like just do it, especially
straight up,
for the
right?
guy, because we're not as emotional as
yeah,
girls
we're
are.
not
Yeah.
so hung up on it.
Facts.
Like just say no, and most guys like when they ask a girl, and like unfortunately, but it's out of like whatever.
Yeah.
So like when you say no,
Can't
it's not
beat
like
that.
I know, like bleep it or whatever, but
Okay, I have a story.
You do that.
what?
you should just like I lost my train of thought.
I got a story, right?
Okay,
Okay.
please share.
Yeah, I'm gonna share because you brought this up. That's why I wanted to circle back because I want to talk about the time that somebody had to reject me and did it so improperly, and I want to talk about it because I want to
Oh.
fucking air them out. Okay, so like basically,
Name
right?
drop.
Yeah. So
Oh.
so
Yeah.
basically, right? There was this guy. He's
gonna tell this story.
yeah.
What
He's
res? What room?
not fucking doing that. I don't even think I remember. So it was in first year, whatever. He was friends with one of our mutual friends, and he was always in my building, and I lived in PG. Yo, shut up, PG. It was gas. He was just always in that goddamn building, right? Whatever. I thought he was cute, but it wasn't really anything serious. However, he was flirting with me a lot, and she can attest that she watched it happen. I was also flirting, but I was like, whatever, right? And so we were at White Lies. Were you guys there? At White
Which
Lies
one?
last year? It
First
was
year.
First year White Lies at like that weird
There was
house.
two, no?
I don't know. It was.
It wasn't a
There
frat
was
house,
two.
and
There,
then
it was
there
the second
other
one. It was the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
one in
yeah.
I
like
wasn't at
March.
the second one.
Okay, yeah, it was the second
Yeah.
one. Whatever. So I knew like we all knew that we would all be there because we saw him the night before, whatever, right? And so that night, whatever, like I just wanted to chit chat, whatever, but he was outside and they weren't letting people in. It was a horrible party. So at
Sorry.
the end
What? I think Seth threw that.
Oh.
Sorry, Seth.
Sorry, Seth. He's fine. So whatever. The end of the party comes up, right? And I go up to him and I was like chatting with him, but I just like wanted to Snapchat. Like we already followed each other on Instagram, like whatever. And so I was like, yeah, like can I get your snap, right? And he went, Sophie, I'm gay.
Was he drunk?
No, well, he didn't seem drunk, and even if he was, he's not gay. And I went, what do you mean? I went, what are you talking about? He goes, no, Sophie, like, I'm gay. I told you that, like, I'm gay. And I go, mind you, I'm hammered, so like I get really confused. So I go to Raquel and I go, Raquel, like he keeps saying he's gay. and I was like, I think he just doesn't want to give me his Snapchat. So Raquel goes up to him and she goes, yo, buddy, and she gets in his face. She goes, yo, buddy, what are you doing? If you like her, then tell her you like her and give her your Snapchat. Or if you don't, just tell her what the fuck are you doing. So I go back up to him like, okay, what's going on? He's like, no, like Sophie, like I am gay. Like I'm really sorry, but I'm like gay though. So I can't give you my snap. And I was like, what the f-?
What if he's actually gay?
No, he's
He's
not.
not gay,
So the next,
though.
so like
Like
obviously,
100%.
Wait, he could
100%.
be.
No, he might.
Like what if he's gay from like on the down low?
Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. But he went on to talk to
Yo, blur that also.
Oh, she said.
I will.
She just said it.
No, I will.
What if
I hate
it's
her.
like to like hide it? You know.
No, I'm telling you, this man is straight, right? And so my issue was the next subsequent days, right? I was seeing it and I was like, you're a weirdo because like, okay, obviously you don't want to give me your Snapchat. That's okay. Just say that. Why did you have to go? Oh, I'm gay. I can't. Huh? Like,
Yeah,
all
I
you
don't
have to
know.
say is honestly, you're a chill girl. Don't like you like that.
But it's just like I don't know. I feel like that's just like really disrespectful, and it
It's
also
so
just shows that like you really can't like.
That's like you know people say the worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah. Yo, just say no.
Just say no.
I'm
Even
gay
I'm gay.
definitely tops that. Yeah.
I'm gay.
That's
It's crazy.
worse.
if it's a lie.
No,
if
low
it's
key,
a lie.
that's worse than like I'm sorry.
Thank you. Well, because it's just like now you're just like gaslighting me. Like it like hurts. Like
No, but he was weird though.
his head was huge.
But I don't know how you like even think of that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gay, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he is gay then. Like honestly,
Hey.
maybe he is. 'Cause
well, the thing is if you're gonna tell us you're
Like,
gay,
would
then
you
you're
ever
gay.
say that if you're
Fuck
trying to like
no,
reject?
no.
No, that's what
No,
I
it's
mean.
weird, right?
it's weird. But he's just a weird guy, so it's like you know what? Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's true.
Yeah.
So I just had to tell that story because I think it's hilarious.
That's crazy. We're gonna blur out so many of those names.
I'm so excited.
Zaid said that older generations had it easier than the younger generations.
Low
Oh, wait.
key.
Look at him go.
Here's the
Wait,
thing.
wait, no,
yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah, he did
No.
say that.
Oh yeah,
No,
it
I
is. Yeah,
did.
that is true. That is true.
Like
yeah.
they always talk about how they had to like climb, like fucking walk
the
10 kilometers to
Yeah.
school
I
and
walked
do
in the
all
Sahara
this and
Desert
that,
just to
and
get
it's
to
like.
school.
With a basket on my head.
My parents can't say shit.
And the
I
thing
lived
is,
through war when I
no,
was
the
a
thing
kid.
is, I'm not gonna
Yo,
lie.
hey.
No, but here's
Proud of you
the
for
thing.
making it out of
I'm
there.
not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
bro.
Like my family were refugees and all that.
Yeah.
Multiple times. So I went to Syria and then they were
Multiple
refugees
times is
again.
He
crazy.
just followed you around.
No, exactly. So then, obviously, they had it harder. But I'm talking about like not even my own family, just in general. Like it was such a simple life. You know, you'd wake up, I feel like eat, go to school, whatever. Like there's no like volunteering or like those like extra. no, but
Say
even,
volunteering
no-
is the
no,
but
hardest
even,
part
like,
of career
extra-
life.
No, but not that. But like,
Volunteering.
there's no extra things going on.
And
It's
also-
such a simple life. You know, like
Yeah.
if you want to get into anything, even let's say someone wants to get to med school or whatever,
Yeah.
they just have to like have good grades. There's
Yeah.
no extra things back
Well,
then.
we talked about this in one of our classes. I think it was political theory. This idea of like progress. I forget which philosopher was talking about it, but it was like as like we progress as a society and we become more civilized and modernized and all these things, like to succeed, you have to become like successful in such a niche thing. Like
Exactly.
we're all learning collectively less because we
Yeah.
have to learn like the little thing. Like our
Everyone has to be
professor
an
used the
expert.
example of like learning like the eating habits of like a bat in like the Sahara Desert or something like that because they're like to be successful and to start something new and learn something new, you have to be in such a niche specific area. So I agree. Like it's definitely difficult for us to succeed, for us to make an impact in the world because everything's already been done almost. I feel like, you know what I mean?
And also, like, just the market for everything is pretty much-
Insane. It's oversaturated.
Yeah, like trying to find an internship right now.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible. In politics.
Please hire us.
Yeah. If you're
I
okay,
got a job.
Actually,
I
she
feel
got a
like
job. I
you
got
got
a
like,
job.
I'll volunteer. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Just-
No, exactly. Even like when it comes to
Whatever.
Yeah.
like not only like career wise, but even like there was no social media or anything. So like
Yeah.
even when you want to like meet people, whether it's friends or like whatever, you find someone attractive, you want to go up to them. There was no social media. You just go up to them and talk to them,
Yeah.
right? And you only talk to like the people from your town because there's no again no social media. So it's not like you're talking to someone like from the other side of the world or anything. People's like
media's really
standards
best.
were different, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
things were so healthy as well, like the way
Yeah.
people think and all that. So
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't have much dad for this topic. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's also
like,
so much that happens through nepotism nowadays.
Yo,
Can we talk about that?
No, but nepotism has always been around. Nour.
I
Like
know.
kings and queens and stuff.
But like
Kings
now
and queens and
it's
stuff.
You know?
Good job.
Well, thank you.
now it's run. It's all run by the nepo babies as we
Yeah.
Facts,
go
bro. Bella
through the
Hadid.
generations. Yep.
she's Palestinian, by the way.
I love Bella Hadid.
Honestly, when it comes to like political stuff, I'm very like away from it. But last weekend, I had like a small like event where like
Yeah.
there were sponsors and stuff. So I was sitting at a sponsor table, and there was like a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
Especially like there was this one very nice lady. She's on the political party, like the Liberal
The
Party.
Liberal Party, yeah.
She was very nice. I don't know. maybe we'll have her sometime. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're actually hoping to have some like
MPs?
Yeah, I was about to say congressional candidates, and I went, whoa.
Whoa.
I went, that's American politics.
Yeah.
Some MPs on.
Yeah, Sophie and I know some from back
Hopefully.
home. We're in touch with a few of like the local like mayors and stuff like that. So
that's our
you know,
hope.
like if we stop, messing around with episodes like these and we lock in on more political episodes.
We've been so locked in though.
No, we
recently,
haven't. This is a fun one, but
You guys deserve to just like let loose.
No, exactly.
thanks, Nour. But
Yo, I'm
yeah,
nice
like
too.
oh, sorry, Zaid.
Yo, say thank you.
Thank you, Zaid.
Shukram, Habibi. Shukram. Is that not thank you?
She got it.
Yeah, it's shukram.
Yeah.
You're marrying some rich Saudi man.
Oh God.
That's her dream.
That's my dream. Okay, wait. Can I do one more question and then we can close out?
Wait, but Nour says he doesn't like matcha.
I hate matcha. Can I talk about that for a second?
Yeah,
Okay, give
honestly,
him
why
30
not? Why
seconds
not? No,
and
go
then
ahead,
we'll
go
move
ahead,
on.
go ahead,
30
go ahead.
seconds. I got a whole story. Okay.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
like 3-4 days ago, I was going to Starbucks. I'm not a Starbucks regular.
Boycott, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I said.
True.
But had to get my coffee on the way to class. I don't know the sizes. That shit trips me out. I don't know what they serve. It's like, what do I get? An Americanos? Give me a double, man. Like, you don't got to make it
Double,
complicated.
bro.
Right? But Tim's was like, 5-7 minute walk. I didn't want to make that. So I get in line with the intention of getting whatever the person in front of me gets.
Okay.
Just say, like, give me what he got. Because it was a dude.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, maybe we have some common interests here. This guy orders matcha, which is like...
It's a matcha epidemic. It's
It
really
is
scary.
a matcha epidemic, and it tastes like dirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what is this propaganda going around where it's like, oh, I'm getting matcha. I'm so, like, I have so much personality, and I'm cooler than you, and I'm going to sit in the
so
corner of the class and look at you like I'm better than you. Like,
Okay, this is a good
chill,
hot
chill
take.
out with the matcha, man.
Yo, facts,
Like,
this is a great hot
bring
I
it
agree.
back.
I agree.
Yeah, it's always no offense because I know like both you do this, but it's like it's the men that like be dressing off Pinterest.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and it's the two of you too, right?
Yeah, like you guys are both like obviously like Pinterest like base,
Yes.
but like without the matcha. So you
Without
guys
the
are like
matchas,
still
yeah.
like we can still hang out with you.
I'm a matcha man now.
I'm a matcha nigga now, man.
Yeah.
I'm a matcha man.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never had it. Like,
You've never had
It's
matcha?
not great.
Well, we'll get
Never.
one after.
Tastes gross. Also, taking a girl on like coffee dates or something, if she gets matcha and I have to pay for that,
Oh my god!
He's upset. He's like, don't buy that.
don't get it.
Don't get that.
Like,
get
as a
that.
first impression, you're getting matcha?
Yeah.
Come on.
How do you feel about that, Nour?
Terrible.
Yo, speak on
There's
it.
not going to be
on
a
it.
second date.
No second date if you order
No
matcha
second
with
date?
Nour.
Well,
Wow.
Preach,
Less
Nour.
likely, at least.
he's gonna make her pay if she gets mine.
She's getting my coffee, too.
Hilarious. Actually, okay, wait. No, since you brought that up, let that be our closing out. What do we feel? How do we feel about 50-50?
Oh, fuck no.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
I was
Here's
brought
the
up on a
thing.
date the
I
other
know
day.
some guys are like, maybe you're not doing financially too well, and I know we're all university students and we all have things to like
Yeah.
pay and things like
Yeah.
that. So obviously, no one is expected to pay for everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're gonna take a girl out on a date, whether it's a movie date or dinner, any of that, especially if it's a first date,
Yeah.
it's like I feel like you should. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know.
No,
I've never been in a situation where I didn't pay.
Yes.
Hey, good for you, buddy.
I'll be
Good
honest.
man.
Good man.
But it's just like, it's not even because I want to be shown as like, oh, look at me, I got this, or I
Yeah.
do this, or I work, whatever. But I don't know. Like, I can just never make a, it's like, I can just never see it.
He can't see it. He'll
I
be
can't see
upset.
like a girl
like,
take
no.
out her
Yeah,
wallet and
like-
full on like, hey, you know what I
Over
mean?
you, it's like-
especially if she's like also paying for me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the way I think about it is like, listen, my money is our money, and then your money is your money. Like you can
Oh
keep
my
that for
God.
yourself.
Damn.
Like that's how I
They're
see
gonna
it. To
clip
be
this
honest,
and he's gonna go famous.
So famous.
yo, maybe
Wow.
make it into a reel or something.
Yeah.
Views.
Facts.
Make an
Yeah,
edit
true.
out of this guy.
And now what about you?
Chill out.
I'm a strong believer in like paying, especially for the first date. As like you go deeper into a relationship, like months in or maybe a year, like
Yeah.
every now and then if she says she's gonna treat me, like go knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Like I would love to be treated every now and then, but yeah, like majority of the time I'm gonna pay. It is nice when they like pretend to pull out their wallet.
You like that?
Yeah, it's like no, because then you get to say like no, I got you. Like you know, like it's a baller move.
But also it's like they're trying to. It shows that they're grateful as well,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
imagine, let's say I've been paying or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it gets to the point where she's sitting down, she's like, oh yeah, like you're gonna pay. I feel like that's a douche. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like
it's entitled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like maybe you're taking advantage of it. Maybe it's not that deep. I don't
Yeah.
know. But the whole point of like, no, listen, like, or like when they, I don't know, when they feel, I never want a girl to feel guilty that I
expect it.
am, but I want her to just be grateful. Like, don't feel
Yeah.
guilty, don't feel bad, whatever.
Well,
'cause-
being grateful is like the main part of it. Like and
Exactly.
also the expectation. Like, okay, with the exception of the first date, because I think whoever asked that person out on the date should pay.
I was just gonna say,
At
yeah.
least for that first one, but like having that expectation that your partner is always going to pay, I don't know, makes me feel a little sick. But maybe it's because I'm in a 4-year relationship, so it's like, you know, like we have very different, like, you know what I mean. Like, At
Yeah.
this point, it's like whoever got most money at the time, bro, like,
Yeah.
just pay.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
can,
Like,
like,
Yeah.
be honest
But-
about financial situations.
yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Once you're comfortable with them. But in my head, if I was like, you know, God forbid, like not with Kyle, whenever, and I was going into a new relationship,
Yeah.
I would go into it with the hopes maybe that if they ask me, they're going to pay, but I would show up with enough to cover my own bill.
Yeah.
Because I think showing up without is kind of like this, like, maybe like culture where
You're
it's
sending
like
a
it's
message-
more traditional
yeah.
where it's like, okay, well, they have to pay. It's like, okay, well, are you a feminist or are you not a feminist? Because it's like, I don't know. 'Cause it's like,
Hilarious.
obviously, it's nice to have it paid for. I think the person who asked you should pay, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I would never show up for a first date without that amount of money in my bank account to cover my own bill, especially if it goes badly.
Yeah.
Because if a first date goes wrong and I want to get out of there, I would 1,000% split the bill, pay it, and
Ooh,
leave.
and then
Because
go.
I don't want to have to feel like I'm entitled to provide that person with someone. Because sometimes men who want to pay for things, they do so and they get kind of upset about it. And they're like, okay, well, now she owes me something.
Yeah.
And I would
So
hate that.
Expecting something from
Like, you
me.
guys are doing it with pure intentions,
Yeah.
but there's a lot
Some
of men
men,
out there
yeah.
who pay for things and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to get something in return. And I would never want to put myself
It's
in a
very
situation
sinister.
like that.
I
Yeah.
agree. It's very sinister. Like for me, like I think like with dating, I hold a lot of traditional values for dating. But not because like I was raised that way. Like truly and honestly, like, my mom was the breadwinner in my household. Like my mom currently still makes more money than my dad does and whatever. Like I know they still do 50-50, but she pays for a lot of like the stuff. And so like, but I think in seeing that and seeing how hard she worked and things like that, like it gave me my own drive to wanna like have money. I know this is a bit off, but it gave me that drive. But it also gave me like the understanding that like I can want somebody to provide for me.
Yeah. Mhm.
And like I am incredibly independent, but with things like 50-50, like I can't I don't believe in it like wholeheartedly. No, I don't.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't. Like I don't believe in it wholeheartedly if I'm being completely honest. I think for first dates, regardless of who asks, I think the man should be paying.
I agree.
Hot take.
I feel like even if a
Like-
girl asks, I feel like
Yeah.
the man
I think you should
still pay.
because I just think it's courteous. Sorry, you want to say something?
I just feel like me and him will be biased about it because it's a very Arab thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's
like
cultural.
okay, like
It's
yeah,
cultural, yeah.
exactly. And we weren't born here. Like we were
Yeah.
raised there. So like I feel like from a young age we're taught to like, you know what, you take care of the girl, you
Like,
pay
yeah,
for
be a
her, you do all
provider,
that.
be
Like
Yeah.
exactly. So
But also, like,
Yeah.
as a man, I've always been taught to work hard enough, not for my like wife to stay at home, but for her to have the option to stay at home.
Exactly. That's
So-
how we think about it. Like I still honestly, here's the thing. I still want my partner to be a hard worker person because
Yes.
obviously like I don't want them to be a bum and just sit down and
No.
like be
Him and
in
his bum
need.
thing.
No, but like be like she needs me type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I agree with them. I want to work so hard to the point where if my wife is like, listen, I don't want to work anymore, I want to sit at home, it's like no problem.
Yeah, go for it.
That's very easy. I can take care of you.
Got it covered.
But
Someone's gonna
also,
cry.
but also it's like I never want my wife to be in the point where like let's say she just had a kid and she's on a leave and all that and you know she's worried about okay how are we gonna pay the bills?
Yeah, there's
How are
no
we gonna
money.
do-
Yeah.
at
Exactly.
home, yeah.
So
That's so fair. No, and like I fully agree. Like, cause like I think as a man or more masculine figure, I think that you should want to do those things. I don't think you should feel like you are forced to, but you should want to. It should come from your own place of like wanting to. Because I just think it's courteous. Like no, like you said on the first date, like I think for myself, I will always bring money and I'll always show that I would want to because I think it's nice and courteous and it shows your appreciation.
Yeah.
But if a man ever said, if I was like, oh, we can split it, and he went, yeah, sure, on the first date, I would never speak to him again. Yeah, no, he wouldn't get a second date. He
Keep that in mind.
just keep that in mind.
or imagine you know
He
what's
just
worse
wouldn't-
if he pays and he's like oh you owe me this much.
Oh yeah, ET me?
no,
Okay,
exactly.
that's greedy.
And like with the whole like
Deceptive.
or like with the whole even like decimals thing, it's like 17.39 or
I'm
whatever.
not
broke.
sending you a dime. I'm not sending you a penny or a dime.
Yeah.
And no, I just
Penny,
want
nickel, dime.
penny, nickel, dime. No, I wouldn't. And like for me, ideally, like I've talked about, like my friends know this. Like ideally, like I would love to work. I mean, we're gonna become lawyers. That's our hope. But like, I really don't want to if I don't have to. Like, in my ideal world, like I meet somebody who has money and who is like, if you don't want to work, you don't have to.
Saudi
And
prince.
Oh my god.
She's going to Dubai.
She going back to
She's
Dubai.
graduating.
I'm going back
Going
to
straight
Dubai.
back
Going
to
back
Dubai.
No, but in my most ideal world, like I would meet somebody who goes, well, I have enough money to take care of you and our family. If you don't want to work, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And I would go,
Okay.
okay. Well, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, no, I wouldn't. But I would still do things on the side, obviously. Like, I wouldn't, like you said, like, I wouldn't be a bum. But I feel like as the man, you should want to do these things for your wife. You should want to work and earn money for your family. It's a very traditional value.
Yeah.
But I just think you should want to. And if you don't want to, okay, cool. But then there's certain things that you shouldn't expect from women then in return. Because I think there's an issue recently where men are not wanting to be traditional, but are expecting traditional women.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want
agree with
princess
that.
treatment.
Yeah.
You want princess treatment, but then are expecting the woman to both be a princess and treat you well.
Yeah,
like,
like the emotional labor
I
is
also-
just too much, right?
yes.
I also agree with like vice versa. Even like there's some women that want like a traditional man. It's like,
traditional
oh, pay for
man.
me. Like
Yeah.
But
you have to
won't
be
have.
protect and provide. But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, but you're not doing many things
Yeah.
in return.
If you want
know
a
what I
traditional
mean? So-
lifestyle, then both of you
And
need
by
to
traditional,
lock
I
in.
don't mean like old school, like toxic, like
No, we know what
toxic
you mean.
parts, but
Yeah.
like.
But if you want somebody
the
to
healthy
provide
things.
for you, then
Exactly.
She has to
you-
provide for the home
Exactly.
care and
like
things
you,
like that.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
but here's one thing, even just to add on, and clarifies that again. I'm sure it's the same thing with him. It's like a very Arab thing. Is that as a man, when you do things, don't expect things in return. Like you're not doing it so you can prove a
Yeah.
point to her,
Yeah.
and for her to just be like, yeah, he's masculine. Oh, he's a man. And
Yeah.
It's not for that. Whether she thinks that or not, that's not why we do it. It's just for the fact that like, okay, we're being nice. We're being
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Like
gentlemen
my
and
dad
all that.
used to always tell me, like, don't do something and expect even a thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
just do it for the sake of doing
Like
it.
even if it's just for friends or whatever, like
Yeah.
we're always taught like you're doing something, and at the end of the day, it's gonna pay. Like life is gonna like pay you back somehow.
Yeah,
Like somehow, whatever you do,
100%.
whatever nice
Karma.
thing,
Yeah.
whatever nice thing you do, you're gonna get paid back somehow.
Yeah.
From just the universe.
And, like,
Kinda
they notice, like girls notice.
Girls do
And
notice,
then
yeah, I was gonna
sometimes I
say.
like point it out. I'm like, I'm kind of.
I like that.
I'm like
just
that.
like that.
Yeah.
That was a really but that was a
Yeah.
really nice sentiment. Though.
Yeah.
Like I agree. Like you should. I mean, but I think that's for everybody. I think you should want to do things for other people, but not expect anything in return.
I do agree with all of this, but I will say, like, especially for my women who are in like relationships with men and things like that, like giving that thank you and giving those thanks and giving back to your partner is so important. And it's like, especially with good men like this who like don't expect anything in return. Like my boyfriend has provided for me greatly in 4 years, you know what I mean? And for me, I'm like, you know, whenever I can chip in, whenever I can help, and always making sure you say thank you and be very appreciative is so important.
Yes.
And I think especially if your partner doesn't expect it, giving that little bit is going to make your relationship like all worthwhile. Like both, you know, partner is going to feel valued and respected and loved. And very important. Be grateful.
Yeah, be grateful.
Always.
Comes with the territory. Like, you know, if somebody's doing those good things for you, you should then want to do those things and
Yeah.
give it back to them.
Yo, low-key, we're all like locked in, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was it. Like,
That's
was
it.
that was our last question.
That's the
How
pod.
do you guys feel coming onto the pod?
Honestly,
That's
at
it.
first I was a little maybe nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous.
No, I
We're
don't want to
nice.
stutter or whatever. Again,
and I
we're
can also
both,
hear
ESL.
myself.
ESL.
So it's kinda
we're
like-
both
been odd.
ESL,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but you get used to it, right?
Yeah, you get
We're an
really
hour
used to
in,
it.
but like you get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
god.
been an hour.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
just about
What?
over an hour. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the episode will be shorter.
Yeah, we'll cut some. We have to cut some stuff out.
Gotta
It's
cut some
actually
stuff
brutal.
out.
Gotta
Horrific.
bleep a whole lot of names.
Whole lot of names.
But you know what? We really appreciate having you guys come on
Yeah,
for a
thank
more
you so
like casual
much.
Appreciate you
episode.
having us.
Just for the viewers, as always, like, you know, we love to keep politics as a part of, you know, what Let's Talk About It is all about. But sometimes we just want to have a little bit more fun. We have a lot of cool friends, a lot of people that have great opinions. You know, hopefully we you think so, that they're great opinions.
I
but
hope so.
I hope
we'll
so.
see.
No, but these guys are so great.
Yeah, so
Don't
having,
make fun of me in the comments.
no, please
no.
do actually.
Like, who's that guy? Like, he's
my
aura
God.
farming.
I taught
kidding.
Sophie aura farming and she won't stop saying
It
it.
doesn't even make any sense.
He's not even aura farming. He is
You're okay,
aura.
Or he
chill
is
out,
aura.
Oh my God, they're
No,
glazing.
no, chill out, chill out.
Lazy, bro, glazing so hard.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for coming.
We really appreciate it.
Now we got to go study for all our exams.
Yeah,
You wanna
but-
go to the gym?
Good luck on your exams.
Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Peace, FamJam.
Slash. I'ma go hit from the back, and I keep me a Mac in my backpack. If a nigga want smoke, he can have that. Fashion over Jesus, make her ass fat. Say you shooting shit up at this rat cat. Got a brand new whip, but I crashed that. Shorty saw me too good, pay the cash at. Slack. Cop foreign wet, make matte black.